My name is John Hybush, and I'm the Executive Director of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation. And we're the foundation that works with General Electric to sponsor these GE-Reagan Foundation Scholarship Programs. The program was kicked off in 2011 with General Electric, and it was our inaugural year in which we gave scholarships, $40,000 apiece, to 22 very fortunate students, each one of which reminded us in one way or another of the greatness of Ronald Reagan.
I want to make an impact, a footprint at the global level for the sake of my country.
Well, I've been involved in politics since I was in 6th grade when I volunteered on my first presidential campaign.
I'm most proud of my position as not just a captain of the football team, but I was also one of the tutors of the football team.
I'm working as an assistant teacher at La Palma Preschool, and it's a preschool especially for underprivileged kids.
One of my biggest projects has just been outside of school. It started as a short film project freshman year, and then me and a couple of friends decided to write a full-length version of this short story I had written for a short film.
I think it's really an honor to be the inaugural class of Reagan Scholars for more than just the generous financial award, more than those things, just to be recognized in honor of a man that Reagan was, not the man he's made out to be, but the man he really was, is really just a humbling, honoring experience.
Ronald Reagan, you know, when he was young, he worked as a lifeguard, he worked as a radio announcer, as a TV broadcaster, as a Hollywood star, and then he went into politics. But he's always said that one of his most important times in his life were the 8 years that he spent hosting General Electric Theater.
For General Electric, here is Ronald Reagan. Good evening. Tonight it is my pleasure to appear in a repeat performance with John.
But secondly, for GE, he traveled the country. He went and visited over a couple of hundred of General Electric plants and met with hundreds of thousands of GE employees at the time. And it was those years at General Electric that helped shape and frame who Ronald Reagan was. It was an opportunity for him to hear from people out there on the assembly line, hear from real Americans as to what their problems and concerns were. And General Electric, it acted as a showcase from which Ronald Reagan could explore what problems were facing the nation and what he might be able to help do about them. To be honest with you, it's not easy to become a Reagan Scholar. It's really quite competitive. In our first year alone, we received well over 5,000 applications. We narrowed that all the way down to 22 really fortunate students. What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for some really bright kids, but just as importantly for us is what kind of leadership skills do they demonstrate both in their community and at school as well. We're looking for leaders, young men and women like Ronald Reagan, kids that do a great deal for their community, who stand out because they care about their friends or they care about their community, and they show that in the amount of time they put towards improving the world around them.
I have been involved in the International Affairs Club since my freshman year.
9th grade year, I was chosen to be a writing tutor.
I actually started tutoring with a group of about 4 other students and a mentor from our school. We tutored summer school students at another high school with English as a second language. The
students that we select are ones that show they've got the kind of values that Ronald Reagan stood for, that they're honest and decent and fair people. A great deal of what the Reagan Foundation is all about is in making sure people understand the importance of their civic duties. And Reagan Scholars are citizens first and foremost. They're citizens of their community and their school, but they demonstrate great citizenship. When we take a look at their records during high school, we're looking to see that they indeed were strong citizens of their community.
I started the Varsity Outreach Club my freshman year in high school just to kind of get student athletes involved. You know, we spent a lot of time doing our athletics and our academics, obviously, but a lot of us don't have the time to dedicate to, you know, the community service.
I volunteer for a program called IRIS, which is the Iowa Reading Radio Information Service, and what we do is we read the Sunday newspaper over the radio, and it's broadcast to the blind community in Des Moines.
The Ronald Reagan Foundation and General Electric are here to help those that show the drive, the leadership, and the integrity to succeed in our application process. We are so delighted to be aligned with General Electric. They're one of the most admired and respected companies worldwide, and certainly here in America. They're a part of Americana, just like Ronald Reagan is. And so for us, what a terrific partnership to have one of the finest companies in the world aligned with one of the finest institutions with the name of Ronald Reagan.